there's just one little thing we got to do. There's just one little thing we got to talk about before we wrap up this episode.
It's that thing.
We are announcing the PCP Editor contest to find a long-term, permanent editor for the PCP.
Oh, yeah.
Contest starts today. Link in the description. Look down there. There's a link there to a document that contains all the instructions you need to know about, 1, what we're looking for as the actual editor of the PCP, and 2, what you need to do to be entered in the contest. I'm going to break it down for you real short. We have provided for you, I think it's like 5 audio tracks that we would normally use to make a PCP episode. It's like 15 minutes long. You take those, you edit them together with the audio and visual assets. You don't have to use the visual. You don't have to stick to our style. Do whatever you want visually to make that into an example PCP episode. Send that to us on Twitter using the hashtag PCP Editor Contest. It's all in the document. Make sure you send a video file, an MP3, a thumbnail image for the video on YouTube, and a text file with the description, title, tags, etc., show notes for that episode. It's all in the document.
Also,
people.
tell us how long
Read
it took you
the
to do
document.
it.
Also, what?
Tell us how long it took you to do it.
Oh, yeah, that's important, because read the document, people. I put all the details in there. You need to know.
The main thing that you haven't mentioned is that this is a permanent paid position as editor of the PCP. This is not just like you can edit for us for free. This is a thing.
Pay you for
That's what I'm doing with this episode.
Yeah, indeed. Well, but that's how it's going to be, people.
So it's like if you're doing, like, you need to, submit something that you think you could do for an entire podcast, like, every week. Like, don't spend, like, 2 weeks editing this, like, 10-minute mini episode or whatever and get it back to us like, and then you can't do that.
That's why I'm saying tell us how long it took you to make it.
Yeah, if you want to provide, I mean, we will be scrutinizing to be like, okay, this guy did a full fucking animation. That's way too much. That probably means he's not the man for the job. So do not go overboard. We're looking for a podcast format. The emphasis is on audio editing because this is an audio show. So, like, hey, I mean, it's all in the document, but if you want to fucking scroll down to the part that's like...
I'm going to be checking your fucking levels.
Checking your levels. Tom, me, and Gib and Ben have all done our own little, like, visual syncing with the audio things. Look, if you want to do that, great. We're happy to have it, but do not overburden yourself and make it a big deal. It's supposed to be a small thing, make it slightly more pleasing. The emphasis is on the audio. So keep that in mind, people. Yeah. Keep that in mind. But that said, we're going to pick the best one. Whoever makes the best stuff that's sustainable, wants to get paid, and wants to be a part of the fucking team. Yo, what's poppin', dog? It's the best guy ever here, and we wanted to add a little update to this, because there was some element, as some of the entries have started to come in, that we thought we should clarify, and that's about the visual style. So in the materials that we've supplied for this contest, we gave everyone the specific Photoshop template for doing the editing that we have used previously. We wanted to make it very clear that what we're hoping to get ultimately, ideally, would be kind of an entirely new visual style for the main PCP episodes. We are not looking to just find someone who can just replicate what we've done up to now. And the major reason for that is just that we're all relatively tired of it, and we're hoping that this would be a good chance to mix things up. So I apologize to everyone who's already turned stuff in. Don't worry, we will take that into account if you've already submitted something by the time you're hearing this or seeing this, but we absolutely encourage people to mix things up and try to impress us with fresh visual styles, not just that orange drab-ass background we've been using up to this point. So get loose, get free, get funky, and try to come up with something that you think we'd like, because that's really one thing that we're hoping to get. You know, the TPC logo, that's pretty cool. The PCP guy, the legally distinct PCP guy, we're all happy to see them. Everything else, the fonts, the colors, any of it could change in any way. And that's kind of one thing we're hoping the editors could provide. And we're excited to see what people come up with. So there you go. Hopefully that's been a clarification. And again, sorry to anybody who's already turned anything in. Just let us know if you've submitted something before. We will be checking that regardless. And one other point I just wanted to add to this, to further clarify while I'm doing so anyway, was about pay. So basically, pay is going to be percentage-based based on however much a PCP episode makes, which we will discuss with the editor. And it's going to be 11.11% of whatever an episode makes that person edits. Yes, it's the 111 meme, and it's also pretty decent pay. That comes out to something like $40 to $50 per episode, which based on our editing experience seems fair considering the amount of time. And considering the amount of time that people have been reporting it's been taking them to edit, that also seems pretty reasonable as well. So again, hopefully that clarifies everything. We'll be responding to more questions on Twitter as things come up, but these should be the biggest things. There you go. And that's it. That's really everything you need to know, I think. So it's in the description. Click that document. It's got everything you need to know. If you got questions, you can send them to @TVCraftshaters using the same hashtag PCP Editor contest.
I think we might need to make this like ages 16 and up or something for labor law purposes, because we'll be sending 1099s
just a disclaimer
to them, right?
that you have to be legal to work. I don't know what age. I assume it's like 18 plus or something.
You can work.
I'm gonna put that on you.
Might depend on what country they're in.
Yeah, it could depend on that. So I guess that's up to you, folks. If you're 16 and you don't know, do us a favor and Google it. If you're legal to fucking work and do this shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're over 18, then it should be fine, I think.
Or, I mean, just fake your information really convincingly, because then it's not our fault.
That's fair, I would think. Get excited, people. This is your chance to be a member of your favorite podcast.
You're not really a member. Don't listen to that. You're just an editor.
Excited.
Not a member.
Well, that's what I mean.
You're
beyond the team as editor.
But I'm excited to see, like, I don't know, maybe someone will come up with like a really neat visual look, and it'll be really cool, and it'll be like, hey, I really want this. I don't know. I'm excited to see what people Me too.
And again, just to clarify that, remember, this is a paid slave indentured servant position. You are not a member of the PCP by winning this. You are a lowly employee ragamuffin fuckboy.
If we start to get the impression you're trying to Barry Kramer your way onto the show, we're gonna cut you right out. So don't even try.
So have no illusion that you will be a friend or respected by us in any capacity other than your pure editing ability.
It's purely
business. That's what you need to know, people. Don't waste our fucking time if you're shit. Just skip it. Only do it if you're good.
And also, you will be laid off at a moment's notice if any of us need extra money for editing at any point.
Indeed, of course. We'll try to have general job security here, but like, maybe one day someone's gonna want to be like, hey, I want to do a Deltarune thing that's really cool. We're gonna try to do this rarely to take it away and do the editing. But we want this to be you. I'm talking to you, future winner of this contest.
What are we paying?
It's gonna be you week to week doing this shit.
It's in the document.
It's all in the document. Everything you need to know. And by the way, part of the test here is reading the document and understanding it, because that shows professionalism. That shows your ability to follow directions.
Don't give them all the hints. Let them figure it out.
You're right. Okay, I won't give you all the hints. That's too much already. You've got everything you need to do this.
This is like the Hunter exam.